this week it's going to be just me. Josh is here. It's just that I've been getting a few comments that maybe people wanted to hear more about my school life or the more mundane things that are going on, and so Josh has been applying for jobs and working as usual, but there's not really much to update about that, so we thought maybe just a short update video about school, and I just finished another term, so I'm just going to give you all some updates and information about what's going on in my educational life. So if that sounds really boring to you, which I don't blame you, then tune in next video that we have, which will hopefully be in about a week and a half or 2 weeks. I know it's been a really long time since we've posted, but this time of the term for me especially was it was a really, really productive, fulfilling term, but it really wiped me out. So now I'm finally on break. I have time to do an update. And tomorrow we are leaving for Barcelona for 4 days, and then the following week I'm going with some friends to Amsterdam. So we'll have our normal travel blogs up, and maybe we were thinking about doing some couples tags soon after, but we'll see. So if this video doesn't interest you, tune in next time. We'll be back to the two of us and our normal videos, but for now, it's just me and some school updates. I just finished a show, or more of like a show workshop with my classmates, and we put on the show School for Scandal. So in my program, there's 3 terms in a year, which are all about 10 to 11 weeks long. The first term was Shakespeare, and this term that I just finished was Restoration Theater. So, and that's all based on time period. So the next term we'll be doing the well-made play, and then the following year, things kind of all go up in arms because the second year is different than the first year structure. However, we just finished our Restoration comedy. It was actually a Georgian comedy, but it's all sort of the same kind of style. And we put on the show School for Scandal by Richard Brinsley Sheridan. And not to get into too many details about it, but it's a really funny show about 2 brothers, of which I played one, who are of opposing personalities. One has a heart of gold, that was me, and the other one is charming on the outside, but sort of, I don't want to say villainous on the inside, but has ulterior motives throughout the show. So it was a really cool learning experience, not only because I was playing a man for the entirety of the show, so that was fun to explore that kind of physicality and just play something really different to anything that I've really played before. So that was really exciting. So it was a lot of hard work, but it was a really fun time playing him. And they basically are going after this girl, and in the end they realize that Charles, despite being a crazy, crazy young man, actually is the one with the heart of gold and with, you know, good intentions and all of that kind of thing. So the moral of the story is that, you know, what's inside is what really counts. So there's your lesson. But it also was really interesting because working on a restoration comedy is a period that I'm not familiar with at all. I had never worked on anything in that time period, and it's really specialized, or it's really stylized in a way that is extremely presentational. And that sounds confusing and weird because it's like all theater is presentational, and that's true. But in a different way than Shakespeare, even, the audience is used so much in Restoration and Georgian theater, especially in comedy, I feel, because you're speaking directly to the audience in almost every scene, probably every minute. I know I did every single time I spoke, so it's this really intimate relationship with the audience. So it was so nice at the end of the term to have an audience there, because it really just called for it with this show, and to hear people's responses and be able to interact with everyone was really, really appreciated. So, but there's a lot of asides, and it's really presentational with your arms, and it's sort of this entire show of people showing off, which sounds, it's really hard to explain, but it was a really fun experience, and I always love trying new styles of theater. But outside of the workshop, which was really, really awesome, we also were working on scene studies, and we did our first assessment, so we were graded for the first time on our presentations for our research project, and also for a history class that we have. So I did some non-acting things as well that I'm proud of, but there's not too much else to update on school. I can't believe I'm 2/3 of the way done. I have one more term of this year, and then after this year I'm halfway done with getting my MFA, which means that we're almost halfway done with our time here, which I truly cannot believe. I feel like there's so many more places I want to travel, and I can't even wrap my head around that we've been here for that long, because some days it feels like I really want to go home, but then other days, like, the more and more time goes by, the more that England just feels like home. So it's really, strange to me that we're almost to the halfway point. But yeah, so that's what's been going on in this term, and moving forward, what I have going on in school, sort of the looming thing over my head has been this research project, which is basically our dissertation, and we have a lot of freedom in what we choose to do for this research project. It just has to relate to theater in some way, obviously, and kind of in the British tradition. So I've decided on my topic. It probably doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but I'm really excited about it. So what I'm looking into is this idea of the Skinner releasing technique, which is a movement-based practice in which you use images, like mental images, to help your body move in organic ways, and how to use that technique to help a character in a certain time period move naturally and organically as well. That probably doesn't make much sense. If you want to know more about it, I can talk a lot about it. I've already done a lot of research, and it's actually really exciting to me because it's a practice that I have used and did use this term, and just really kind of was a aha moment for me as an artist. So I guess if you want to know more about that exciting topic, then leave it in the comments, and I'm your girl if you want to hear about it. But I'm excited about that going forward, but that doesn't happen for another 6 months. That's at the end of the first term of next year that I have to present that. So I still have a little while, but you know, it's just like this ever looming thing, because it's like one of the biggest things we do here at school, if not the biggest. So I'm really excited to have this break also to kind of get started on that and really start that research process now that I have a direction. But anyway, that's what's been going on with me at school. I feel like I barely covered anything, and it was probably really boring, but if there's any specific questions about what I'm doing here in my studies, feel free to ask in the comments. If you hate these kind of videos, then I won't post them as much, but I know that I've been getting a few comments via YouTube comments and also personal messages where people have seemed to want to know more about what I'm doing in school. So that's basically what's been happening, and again, sorry if this was boring. Tune in next time. It'll be Josh and I again on our travels. Hey look, it's Josh in the background. Also, one small thing I wanted to talk about. I'm talking about the Beauty and the Beast live action movie because I feel like I should, or I have to, or whatever. I don't usually make like videos or comment on what I thought about movies, but this one in particular, Beauty and the Beast, is so dear to my heart. So I guess as part of this video, if you don't care what I think about Beauty and the Beast and you don't care about Disney, then again, watch next week and we won't mention the movie or anything like that. But for those who know me, know that Beauty and the Beast holds a very dear place in my heart. Disney does as a whole. Like, I'm one of those basic girls. I love Disney. I love princesses. I love whatever. I'm one of those adults who likes to go to Disney World. I don't care. Sue me. I love it. I love fairy tales and all of that. I don't care. I love Disney. But Beauty and the Beast in particular is my favorite movie almost of all time. Judge me as you will. I don't care. I love Beauty and the Beast. I love Belle. When I was a little girl, Belle was legitimately one of my role models, and I still like love her. And my wedding was themed off Beauty and the Beast. We went to Disney World for our honeymoon. My senior year prom dress was yellow like Belle. So going into the movie, I know I will be a harsher critic than most because I love Disney and because I love Beauty and the Beast and all of that. So just know that with this critique, I am going in from a place of someone who has probably more than a major love for this character and for this movie and the film. I love Beauty and the Beast. And it's like part of our love story. We started as Beauty and the Beast in high school. Whatever. I love it. Okay. Now that we've established that and where I'm coming from as a critic. So, the movie as a whole, I actually really, really liked. I went in with an open mind. I had some reservations just because I was really nervous about them messing it up. And in general, I really liked it. I was like tearing up or crying through a lot of it because, again, I love it so much. It was sentimental. It just brought back childhood memories. And just seeing what you imagined as a kid kind of brought to life through beautiful CGI and animation. I mean, it was stunning. That part of the film, like really visually, it was incredible, like just stunning to look at, and all of the inanimate objects were beautiful, and I thought the casting for all of them was great. Like the casting as a whole, except for one character, which I'll get to, was amazing. Like even if there was differences or alterations in the film, I honestly didn't mind. Like, I thought the added songs, I thought they were really cute and were fine. I didn't mind at all the backstory about Belle's mother and about Beast's mother. Like, I think it really helped develop the story in a way that was different. And in general, I think the differences that they made to this live action film were a lot different from the animated movie and from the Broadway musical, but not in a bad way. Like, the story structure I thought was really, really well done. So as a whole, like, I didn't mind that at all. I wish they had kept If I Can't Love Her, which is a song the Beast sings, and it's because it's just one of my favorite Broadway musical songs of all time, let alone Disney or whatever. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous song, and they cut it out and added Evermore. And I liked Evermore as a song, but I just don't know why they had to cut out If I Can't Love Her completely. But that's, I mean, if you haven't seen the Broadway musical, then it means nothing to you, I guess. So it's not like it's up to Disney to add every song we all love, but I wish they would have kept it. My biggest pitfall of the movie, surprise, surprise, is that I thought Belle was casted completely incorrectly. And that's nothing against Emma Watson. That's nothing against her as an actor or a person or any of that. Like, obviously, I feel like there's a little part of me always in my heart that's like, I should be cast as Belle because I am Belle. But unrealistic expectations aside, and wishing that, like, I had been found by Disney to play her just because I'm like, I could be the perfect Belle. Whatever. I just don't think Emma Watson was the right choice. And the reasons I feel that are not because I don't think she's beautiful enough to play a princess. Obviously, Emma Watson is gorgeous. She is so beautiful. She is so charming, and she, as an actress and watching her in the movie, I was like, she's a really charming, lovely person. Like, she really seemed believable in terms of being someone people would fall for, all of that. But despite that, I don't think she was Belle. And the reasons I think that are, first, I don't think she looks like Belle, facial structure-wise or just coloring. She's a pretty white girl, so I'm not saying, but, like, I just think the hair color, like, Belle was the first true brunette princess because Snow White had black hair, in case you're referencing that. And as a little girl, seeing a brunette princess was so nice for me, who had green eyes. And Emma Watson has, like, light brown, dirty blonde hair and dark brown eyes, which seems stupid, but for someone who really cares, it was like, I was just like, what? Why? And she can't sing. And that's really annoying to me, because if you're going to have one character in the movie be able to handle the singing, it had better be the lead. And as charming and lovely and beautiful and whatever else Emma Watson is, she couldn't sing the part, and they had to auto-tune her, and it was obvious. So the whole time watching, I just couldn't get on board with the fact that she was Belle, and I don't think I once believed in the movie that she was that character. She was just a pretty girl in place of someone who I wish had been cast differently. So that kind of stunk, because, like, I like live-action remakes, and I know that I judge Belle more harshly, but I thought that Cinderella that came out however many years ago was gorgeous. Like, I think Lily James did a really good job. And I don't mind, like, princesses being recast or something. It's just that I just thought if you're going to get one person right, it should be Belle, and I just don't think they accomplished that. And I think Emma Watson has a sort of demureness about her that works for Belle, but to me, Belle has to be full of strength and is fearless, and I just didn't get that kind of vibe from Emma Watson, and it's not even her fault. Like, she did the best that she could in the role, and this is just my own personal thing. I just think the casting was wrong. I'm sure lots of people disagree with me. That's just one girl's opinion who holds Belle really dear to her heart. I was also really underwhelmed by Belle's yellow dress. The rest of the costumes were so gorgeous and so awesome, and the visuals were amazing. And all of Belle's costumes were, like, trying to be sort of an updated but still historically accurate version of the dresses, and then she walks out in 2003 prom for the biggest, like, reveal of the dress, and it just made no sense to me. So basically, Belle as a whole was just underwhelming, and that was the biggest I had with the film, because the dress could have been so beautiful, especially in that era. It was like, what, 18th century France? It could have been gigantic and beautiful and, like, just a stunning dress, and it just wasn't for me. It was pretty, but it wasn't Belle's dress. And just like how I thought Emma Watson's pretty, she's fine, she's not Belle. So that was really hard for me to get over. But all of that aside, I really did enjoy the movie. I'm really glad we went to go see it. I think if people watch it, like, it really does bring the story to life in a way that I think is really gorgeous. I don't think I can get over the Belle thing completely, but I did enjoy it. I cried, I laughed, I had a really good time in the theater watching a kid's movie, and that's my 2 cents on it. If you have a different opinion, that's totally cool. If you agree with me, that's totally cool. This is just one Disney lover's opinion about the movie and all of that. So anyway, that's my critique of Beauty and the Beast. My super artsy critique of that film. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support, and we'll see you much sooner than the last time.